Barney Frank, who's no longer in Congress, wanted to come on the program, but he said no, and he was smart to say no, because I would have yelled at him a lot more than I yelled at him last time for doing that. Now, joining us from Washington to react, Kate Obershane, a Republican strategist, and from Los Angeles, Kirsten Powers, a Fox News analyst. You know, I'm just about fed up with this politicizing the deaths of people like Barney Frank just did. I think it's a disgrace. Kirsten, you say?
Yeah, I don't think it's, first of all, the timing I think is very bad, but even setting that aside, if he had said it next week, I'm not really sure what the difference is, because he's setting up a caricature of Republicans. You know, I'm a Democrat, but I at least can recognize that most Republicans support funding police departments and the FBI. So this idea that somehow there's any Republican arguing against having law enforcement being funded, it's not based in fact. So I'm not sure why it has to be politicized that way.
Okay. You know Barney Frank, right? Kirsten?
I know who he is.
All right.
I don't know him personally.
Okay, you know who he is. You know what he does. He's a bomb thrower, a left-wing bomb thrower. He always has been. I know. He went to Harvard. I mean, Frank's not a stupid man. I mean, he's a pinhead, but he's not stupid. He knew exactly what the reaction was going to be when he said this. He knew exactly what I was going to do tonight.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I think that this is a common thing that people, a lot of Democrats think in the same way a lot of Republicans think that Democrats want to make you eat broccoli.
You have a mother crying, all right, in Boston. He knows that. He's up there. He lives there. And so,
I think he sincerely believes what he said. I really
do. But
I think
you shut up until the people are buried.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but I do think that he feels that he's helping because he thinks somehow
I think he's so
this
damn
has something
narcissistic.
to do with being conservative.
I think Barney Frank is so damn narcissistic, Kate. He doesn't care about anything other than himself and his agenda. He didn't even think about that mother. He thought about guys like me ripping him, and then I'm sure he'll have his little comeback to the left-wing websites and TV shows that'll run to him. Oh, you hear what O'Reilly said about you? Okay, but he's so narcissistic, he didn't care about the people. What do you say, Kate?
And he loves the fact that you're paying attention to him. That's exactly right. He's a narcissist. They only recognize that they're getting attention. They have no shame, no ability to feel repentance of any sort. But one thing, Kirsten, I think I heard you say something about Republicans do this as well. Right now, it's the Democrats trying to score political points off of a national tragedy. You saw Barney Frank do it in the most bombastic, idiotic manner, but you also had Steny Hoyer doing it. You had this guy, the House Democrat chair, a caucus chair in California, Xavier Becerra, say that the guys in Boston are going to have to take money away from children's immunization programs in order to pay for this. This is appalling. It's all this sequester nonsense. Let's focus on the fact that, one, Americans came together. They rallied to the cause, but also we have grieving people right now, and we have villains out there on the loose, and that's where the attention should be. These are elected or recently retired officials who have no business politicizing this.
All right, and it even gets worse when you get into the punditry powers. This guy, David Serrata, a syndicated columnist, he said, it's unbelievable. You know, he hopes it's a right-wing militia or Nazi nut that did it so that his agenda isn't impacted by this. I mean, you should really... I'm just amazed. But you don't seem to be amazed, Powers. Maybe because you live with these people and you know what it is. I don't know anybody like this. I know a lot
of people who think this
I really, no, but I don't know anybody like this. Nobody in my town acts this way.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people who do. And I think, but here's the thing about David Serrata's column is that he laments that there are people who will take an attack by an Islamic radical and then ascribe it to all Muslims, which of course is wrong. I don't know anybody on this panel here that would dispute that. But then he turns around and says, I hope it was like a white neo-Nazi guy so then we can smear all white men. So it's just sort of the same. He's doing exactly what he's criticizing.
You know, I think the hate in this country, Kate, is out of control. And you look, the far right, we can't give them a pass. But right now, as you pointed out, Kate, it's all coming from one precinct. I'll give you the last word.
It is coming from one precinct. It's the demonizing of people who've disagreed on another issue that has nothing to do with the bombing. But Bill, I hate to say it, but we saw the President of the United States, when it came to the victims of Sandy Hook, do a very similar thing, politicizing a national tragedy before we even had time to begin to heal. And I hate that it's becoming the way of life.
To be fair to the President, whether you agree or not, an argument can be made, Kate, that he was doing it in the interest of public safety. There is
no argument.
No,
you can't, because
argument.
Nothing would have happened to
well,
save those babies.
Opinion.
It was a political point. He was scoring political points.
Kate,
that's the part that concerns me.
That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But there's an argument that can be made by raising the gun issue that you are doing it for the interest of public safety. In Frank and Serrata's, they got no reason to do it, particularly now. And they did it anyway.
Right.
Directly
sure,
ahead.
we're trying to score points.
Call roll.